So this is the Power Query Editor. It's very simple to go in here and make some easy changes. I can look at certain items within here and see what types of data that I have. I can see at a glance that some of this data is going to be difficult to map because it's not in a format that I would traditionally use. So for instance, here I've got record high temperature and it has Fahrenheit and Celsius listed. Well, that's great, but if I try to map that or do any analysis of it, it's not going to be able to do it because it's all in one column. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually choose to split this column by a particular delimiter, in this case the slash character. And once I've done that, it will break that up into two different items, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this Celsius column. So as you can imagine, a lot of Excel business analysts spend a large number of hours during the day just doing this, just going through and choosing to clean up the data that they need to have access to. It's fairly repetitive. It's definitely not fun. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really make their job that much easier because they still have to go back and clean it up every single time that they're doing it. That's not fun. And it's something that certainly you don't want your team doing if you're running a small business. No one wants to spend 2 hours cleaning this up once a quarter. One of the big benefits of using Excel and Power Query is that, as you can notice, I've got a series of steps over here that are recording every single action that I'm taking. Those actions are codified in a manner that I can edit directly or that I could share with other people. So when I look at the types of data that I'm trying to clean up, I'm actually doing a series of set applied steps in a particular order. I can, if I want to, actually go in and look at what those steps are in what's known as the advanced editor. So I can actually see very easily what those steps are to be able to provide very detailed support for my individuals. And if I've got people in my organization who have already done a large amount of that cleanup, they can even go through and actually send me what those items are. So in this case, I've got just a limited amount of data, but I can come in here and actually paste in any sort of data that I want to and see what that looks like. And that'll go through and make a number of changes. So rather than me having to spend an hour or 2 hours cleaning it up, I've done this once. I can see very easily I've gone in here and made some additional changes to work with that. And that's beyond just simply doing data cleanup of a search and replace function. It's actually setting the type of data, so setting this actually to be a whole number type, going through and making sure that these are regular items. I'll show an example of what that looks like in a second when I close this out.